This was so, sorry, squirrels are just everywhere running past me. It's very distracting because I love squirrels. This was so, so good. This is a horror book inspired by Filipino traditions and horror stories, folklore. We follow the story of Josephine, whose best friend, I want to say you pronounce it Haraya. I could be wrong. But Josephine, you see her grow up in this town. Her parents are murdered by this political figure. It reminds me of a lot of Trump, just saying. And Haraya moves away after her house is set on fire. She's accused by the community of being this witch and nobody really likes her. There's a lot of rumors. And anyway, so she's moved away. Josephine's brother has left with her best friend, Gabrielle. Gabrielle? I just finished it. Why can't I remember? They've moved away to the city to go for her brother to try and make more money from the parents' inheritance, and with every attempt that he does of that, he fails, becomes more broke. There's no money for Josephine for the house. Life's a bit poor, she's lonely. And so when she gets invited to Haraya's house and finds out that Gabriella and her brother Alejandro are going to be there when she hasn't seen them in many years, she jumps at the chance. When she gets to this house, which is like on an island, very desolate, very isolated, she finds out things aren't exactly as they seem. And while they're there, they're invited to play this game, essentially like hide and seek. And whoever wins gets like their dream come true. And she kind of discovers that Haraya is kind of a witch. And there's as like a descendant of a witch family who handle rituals and ointments and things like that. I don't want to go too deep into spoiling it. I find it really, really interesting, the folklore, handling things like the ashwandas and stuff. This book was super duper creepy. Like, this was more gruesome and gross than I expected. Like, it is truly gross. Like, if you have a problem with bugs, like I do, I'm not sure I'd recommend it because it is really disgusting, very in detail about bugs. But I really, really enjoyed it nonetheless. I gave this a 4-star. Like, I've had such a good time with it. I feel like I not only enjoyed the story and the suspense that the book built, which it did a really good job of, I also really enjoyed the meanings behind it. And I think it's like kind of like a study on women and how women have to, through generations, try and lessen the blow for their ancestors and the hardships that they go through. Because as women, we face so many hardships and we always want to make it easier for our next generation. You know, we want to make life easier for our kids and they want to make life easier for their kids. And this story kind of just hits the nail on the head with that, and how we're always trying to sacrifice our own happiness for the sake of making the future a little bit easier. And that's just a woman's hardship to bear, and it's not fair. I really like the way that the book handled that. Quite subtly, like it wasn't like in your face showing that was a theme, but it was definitely there, especially if you read the author's note at the end, which I really enjoyed. No, I really like the historical setting. I think it fit the book really, really well. I believe it's 1946, I think. 1986, I was right the first time. Yeah, 1986. So it's really well done. You know, there's obviously no technology or things like that, and yeah, it's just really well done. There's a lot of world building. The writing style is very unique. Nothing I've really read similar to before. I really, really enjoyed it. The only thing that I could pinpoint this close to would be Mexican Gothic. It is so unbelievably similar to Mexican Gothic. However, if you know, I hated that book, 1 star. This a 4. They are so similar, in many, many ways, and I think a lot in their storytelling as well. And yeah, this is a really, really good one, much better than that, I would say, personally. But if you liked Mexican Gothic, I would definitely recommend picking this up as well. Or even if you didn't, this is still good, as I've proved. But yeah, so very much enjoyable story here. Very glad to have read a good book to start my holiday. It is Tuesday, so I've already missed 2 days of reading and I've only got 1 book down and a million more to go, as you've seen from my TBR. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to read next. I think me and Jade are definitely hoping to pick up an Elsie Silver this week, so I should be reading a little romance. And I kind of feel like that after reading a horror. Like, I really am in the mood for a more contemporary cowboy romance. So that sounds really, really fun. But for now, it is 5:30. So we are going to go play badminton and get some dinner at the sports cafe, which I'm really, really excited about. And yeah, so I won't be reading again for at least a few hours, if not till tomorrow. Who knows? But I do really want to go to Starbucks and read, because I went to Starbucks today and didn't take my book, and I regretted it very much. So hopefully we can go to Starbucks and read tomorrow.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Day 7,461
Of what?
of living in the forest, abandoned. We're going swimming.
We're going swimming because it's
We found a leak.
hard life.
We found water after 7,000 days.
We haven't drunk in 7,000 days.
There's a squizzy. I can't show you the squizzy.
Happy
Can't
to
flip
go
the
around.
squizzy. I think I have to take a picture.
Yeah. I'm back in the same position. I have finished The Lady Upstairs. I did not update you. So I started this last night. I got about halfway, I think. Yeah, 150 pages. It's a 300-page book. And then I woke up this morning and finished it because all night I was thinking about it. I want to start by saying this is the weirdest book I've ever read. Like, this is strange. Like, I wrote a Goodreads review just now, and my whole kind of thought process was, I don't know what to feel. But I think I loved it. Like, I've given it a 4 stars overall. But it's so strange. So it's one of those fever dream novels. Like it says on the front, a fever dream of a novel. That's what one of the blurbs says. And they are so correct. Time is not linear and nothing really makes sense. It's a very isolated setting and things kind of follow their own rules. I think I really liked it though. Like, I think I really enjoyed this. This does have a terrible, like, 3-star average on Goodreads, but I can understand. I don't think many people are going to like this book, but I really gelled with this. I've been getting a lot more into weird books over the last few years, and I think this one's just really done it for me. It is a horror, and it is a horror, but it's not outright jump scare, haunted house horror. Not that by any means. It's more of an unsettling, disturbing kind of horror. Makes you feel a chill, if you make sense. Anne, our main character, is completely and utterly dislikable. Like, she is a horrid human being, but you kind of take on her feelings towards other people through the book. Like, you hate certain people because she hates certain people, even when she talks about these people, they've done nothing wrong. They are not bad people. They're great people, actually, and some of them are being really nice to her, and she's just awful. Then you have Lady Charlotte, who she becomes the maid for after kind of being obsessed with her. And there's a lot going on with this woman. She is kind of experiencing some hysteria. And you learn more about that through the book, but nothing is outright told to you. Like, you become just as hysterical as she is in this book. Reading it, I was like, have I even got brains anymore? When she was talking about things just not making sense and things staring at her, I was like, yeah, same. Like, honestly, same. What has this book done to me? There are so many trigger warnings in this book. For example, hysteria, rape, bulimia. It's quite a dark novel, but everything's, I think, handled quite well. Not well, like, it's not it's not handling it in a sensible way. Like, if those are your triggers, don't read this. The rape scene is not too graphic. It's kind of, she's not really sure if it's happening. It's kind of talked like a dream. It's very brief, 1 page, so that would be okay, I think. But bulimia, if you have bulimia, do not read this. She makes herself sick all of the time and is very descriptive. Yeah, so that's a heavy trigger warning. Don't do it to yourself. It was kind of disgusting even reading about it. Wasn't a fan. I believe that Anne, the main character, has OCD. It is never explicitly said, but for example, when she is being sick, she has to count to a certain amount of times to be sick, and she has these soap bars that she has to use to a certain, like she has to use them halfway down to make sure that she's clean. And she's very obsessed with the idea of purity and cleansing. And I think that, like, she just feels evil and dirt inside of her. And as someone who suffers with contamination OCD, I do see things in her that I think maybe could be reflected on OCD. Now, I don't know if that was the author's intention. I can't say it was, but if it was, she's handled it very, very well. And I really did enjoy those moments because I just could see, you know, some of my struggles in the book, which I enjoyed. The writing itself is at some points beautiful and lyrical and so well done. Like, there's descriptions of the creeks and the rivers and the house. They're very beautiful. And then other times it just becomes so jarring and just so blunt. Like, the first page, if you see this in a bookstore, I recommend you read the first page because it starts with this gorgeous, the sky was marmalade, and the sugared sky, and then the last sentence of the first chapter, I won't say it because being PG, but it just suddenly for the rest of the page becomes graphic and funny, to be honest. So yeah, that writing style is very all over the place. I think it matches the book so well. This fever dream of a book, I think having the writing bounce back and forth is jarring as well, which just adds to the overall feeling of the book. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed this, I think. But I do think, because I don't know, because it was so strange and weird, as I said, I don't think many people are going to like this. I think this is going to be one of those ones that people are like, what? But I think I had a good time. My brain feels polluted by this novel, so I guess that can't be a bad thing, because it's good to think about your books. But I don't want anyone reading this and then coming to me and being like, you recommended this terrible book, because I think it's good, but I also am well aware not many of you are going to think so. So pick this up at your own risk, not mine, okay? Okay, so that's 2 4 stars this holiday, so I am not complaining about that. Both horror novels. I'm clearly in the mood for those strange, old-timey horrors right now, but I don't have any of those, more of those left. So I don't know what I'm taking to the coffee shop today, but we are heading over to Starbucks now, and we are going to sit and read for a few hours. So now I need to pick a new book. And to be honest, I was thinking about this earlier, I think I hate picking new books. Like, when I'm in the middle of a book, like last night, it was so hard to start this. Like, it was so hard to go pick the book and then want to start. But then once you're in it, every like 10 minutes, I'm like, oh, I want to pick my book back up, like when I'm not reading. And then I'll read a couple of pages and then I'll get distracted. But I feel like it's just picking up the book and not knowing what you're going into, if you're going to like it, what the setting is, who the characters are. Like, that's a big ask. Like, it's just too much to start. And I think that's what's really been messing with me during this horrific year-long slump. What's it now, year and a half that I've been struggling with this slump. Once I'm in a book, I'm good, like I can read. But picking up that book for the first time and trying to choose which one and then reading through the first like 50 pages is just so difficult for me. But yeah, I'm gonna go pick another book now, enough rambling from me. And I guess you'll see what that is from the footage.
On se croit toujours plus fort que nos désirs. Mais parfois, c'est difficile de les affronter.
I have finished my third book, which was Annie Bot by Sierra Greer. This was a book about Annie, who is an AI intelligence perfect girlfriend, and they're designed to be purchased for a multitude of reasons. They can be cleaners, nannies to kids, or cuddle bunnies, which is what Annie is. She's owned by this man called Doug. Doug, for start, is awful. Now, what I loved about this book was it's definitely a social commentary on misogyny and ownership and feeling stuck as a woman. And I really like that. It really discusses a lot of humanity and what it means to be a human. And the fact that, okay, she may be a robot, but she is experiencing what it means to be human. She's feeling emotions. She's feeling desire to live and creating hobbies and developing knowledge. I think the thing is about this is Doug is like an awful human being, really. Like, he punishes her and expects her to be perfect and shouts at her when she's not. But everybody considers her very lucky because she is one of the rare bots to not be physically abused by their owner. Like, she's not beat or anything like that. That's crazy. That's crazy. And I think that speaks a lot of volumes to think that just because she's being only emotionally manipulated and abused, that means she's a lucky person. That's crazy. And I think that goes for a lot of women in today's society. So, yeah, I think you could take out the fact that she was a robot and it would be the same story as just a woman. I really, really like this. I think it's very subdued. The ending is not this big dramatic ending. It's not this big revenge plot, but it fits the story so well and fits Annie, our character, so well. I really, really enjoyed this. I went for a 3.5 overall. Something about it just feels like a 3.5. It didn't quite feel like a 4 for me, but I did really, really enjoy it. And I think that it's a really good commentary novel. And I definitely recommend people read it. Not sure what I could say it was missing to give it a higher rating. I think it's one of those books that you just get sucked in by the characters and you fall for the character who you really want to root for, which is what I did with Annie, and I really enjoyed it. I think I needed more discussions maybe about, I don't really know what about, maybe just more about how wrong people are treated in the world. But I think the point of the book is it's there for you to read, and you just have to come to that conclusion on your own, and you have to try to pull the narratives that are being told to you through the book yourself. And I like that. I like a book that doesn't spoon feed it to you. And I definitely think this is one of those books. So if you are someone who likes that type of book, this is definitely for you. Really enjoyable, really well written. Really glad I read it. But yeah, I think maybe a 3.75, possibly a 4. But I think for this, I'm going to go for a 3.5. But I've had a really good streak with books this time. I am currently reading now Darcy Coates' The Haunting of Rookwood House. I'll be honest, I've read the prologue, so I'm 8 pages in. So I'm not exactly far in. I did talk about this in my TBR for this holiday video, so I'm not going to go too much into it, but it is a haunted house novel. The prologue was super creepy, which I really loved. Darcy Coates is a favourite author of mine, so I'm pretty much guaranteed to like this. I am going to go read some more tonight. I'm not going to be able to update you again from this villa because we are checking out at 10 a.m. So I'm not going to have time to read this, update you. I'm probably going to read it some more before we leave tomorrow. So I will update you on this when I am back home. As you can see, I'm clearly back from holiday. But I wanted to update you, as I said I would, on The Haunting of Rookwood House by Darcy Coates, which I have finished. So I read, was it 4 books while I was away, which is amazing. It's Sunday, so I still have technically time of my holiday left to read. So I am going to pick up books in the other room. What's it called? I want to go home, but I'm already there. I talked about it in my TBR video. So hopefully I can read that in time to wrap up my what books I read on holiday video. But in regards to this book, I ended up giving this a 4 stars. It's definitely not one of Darcy Coates' best and what they went through, which is ironic because the book I'm writing has all of that in it, which, as I've said many times before, my book is inspired by Darcy Coates. So to read one where she's written a lot of the same scenes, I'm like, I might have to change something in there because I didn't know that before. But I really, really liked this one. I liked the horror elements. I liked that it didn't shy away from the gore in it. Guy finds out, I thought his mum had passed and he'd inherited a house. He hadn't. He was going through the attic of his mum's house with his mum, and they found out they own this house. There's some sad backstory to Guy. So he's kind of trying to escape his life, and he thinks if he does Rookwood House up and makes it a nicer place, he'll be able to sell it for profit and they'll be able to move far away from a town that isn't going well for them. So he goes to this house, and there's a lot of history in this house, and he kind of has flashbacks to the old family that lived there. At the end, there's these twisted scenes where his reality is shifted. I don't want to say too much to spoil it, of course, but I really enjoyed those scenes. Really well done. I like Darcy Coates' writing style. It's very blunt and to the point, very different to most I read and my own. So I kind of like, it's kind of refreshing. I kind of like delving into the different writing style. It feels fresh and new and always restarts me with my reading when I read a Darcy Coates, which I really like. Probably why I didn't get a 5, but I did really enjoy it nonetheless. Enjoyed the development of Guy as a person and the things that he went through in here and the revelations of his life that he kind of had. I liked the ending. Yeah, it was all around a really good book. So I had a very good streak of books this week. Was it 3 4 stars and a 1 3.5 star? I'll take that. And as a girl in a slump, we need some good reads right now to keep me going while I read. So yeah, today I'm just going to go and read the rest of my book before I start my new job tomorrow, which I'm very nervous about. So I need some reading to distract me. But that is the end of our holiday vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's not too long. I haven't edited it. Might do some today. But there's definitely a lot of clips. So I hope that it was enjoyable for you. And yeah, and I shall see you in the next one where we recap and go through all the books that I read and the books I didn't read. So I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.